Welcome to House of Horns. My name is Victor Corona, aka Victor Producer, and joining me is Gilbert Manzano from SI Sports Illustrated, staff writer there. Gilbert, what a great game, but what a way to lose for the Rams on this post game show. What are your takeaways after a tough loss for the Rams?
Yeah, so many thoughts here, and I guess the way I'll start this one, and it is, a tough loss for Rams and listeners and viewers of House of Horns. You fought well, you had them right there, went to overtime, but I'll compliment both teams here. I'm done doubting Lamar Jackson in that passing game with the Ravens. They lit up the Rams secondary pretty nicely and did an outstanding job, and I'm done doubting the Rams offense as being one of the best in the NFL. They are one of the best offenses in the NFL. What they did to the Browns and the Ravens defense in back-to-back weeks in Baltimore, that Ravens defense was not number one like it's been all year. They had a tough time dealing with Kyron Williams, Puka Nakua, Cooper Cup, the rookie Allen, the tight end there. So outstanding performance by Sean McVay's offense. Matthew Stafford was dealing, but I guess maybe it's fitting that it ended up being a special teams mistake because the offense, like I bet if they get the ball back, maybe they will score and win the game there. They were rolling. So that's a tough pill to swallow. But at the end, take the positives. The Rams grew up before our eyes. They're going to be a dangerous team. They're going to fall behind the playoff standings right now, but it's going to be a 1 week at a time. And I'm not going to doubt this team for the final month of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty impressive to see this team just stay with the Ravens in the rain too, Gilbert. I mean, to your point, I mean, you laid out every single point there, but I'm just adding the fact that it was in the rain as well. It was a great performance by the Rams all around. The defense struggled a little bit in that first half, but they made the adjustments, and the Ravens did the same thing in the second half, and that was really good to see in terms of this game. It was well played on both sides, and as we, as you said, I mean, what was the other? There was one stat that I had on here. There was 8 lead changes, Gilbert, and 2 ties in this game. It tells you. And then also for the Rams, you don't want to just have moral victories and say, yeah, look, we just stayed with the best team in the AFC record wise right now. But at the same time, you're there. You've made the improvements since you came off of bye week, and so you want to be able to continue to carry that on. So I hope that Ram fans don't keep their heads down, because this was a really good performance all the way around. I mean, you can only, yes, you want to win this game, and then. I know that a lot of people are going to make a big deal out of the fact that the reps miss a push in the back on that punt return, but it's going to happen. It's in the rain, but still, great confidence. I think building confidence for this team, Gilbert.
Yeah, and if you're watching, let us know. Let us know your thoughts about this. Wild game, one of the best games of the year. Are you mad about the flag there? Are you proud of the effort? Are you disappointed? Do you want the win there? Let us know your thoughts here on this live episode here. But yeah, it's tough that the end with a special teams play there, and it's kind of like the Hail Mary. Like when people throw up a lob there, no one's gonna call for the pass interference when the game's on the line. You're gonna have the cojones to call back that punt there in Baltimore. Usually the referees don't do it there, and I know it's an argument for another day, but it's tough that it ended that way. And I think people might be frustrated with the Rams defense, but they've been pretty solid all year. Those 2 blown plays in the first half, I think a touchdown to Isaiah Likely, a touchdown to Odell Beckham. So the defense wasn't great here, but it is a good Ravens offense, and I was very critical of the passing game, and I said, force them to throw, and they answered the call. And what else can you do? Lamar Jackson, the Ravens appear to be the best team in the AFC. I think I'm done, waiting for that one there. But what does that say about the Rams? So young, and the broadcast kept bringing up time and time again. 5th round pick Puka, 5th round pick Allen, 5th round pick Kyron Williams. So the future is very bright, but I don't want people to start thinking about next year. Like, you're gonna fall behind. Who knows? Maybe the 49ers beat the Seahawks are playing right now. Maybe the Packers lose to the Giants, and you're looking nice still in the playoff race, but it might not look nice when the games are over. The Commanders, Saints, who else do they play? The Giants. So they're in a nice place. So overall, it's one of these games like, do you lose to the 49ers or do you lose to the Ravens? And I think big picture, it sucks that they lost this one, but they're not out of the race in terms of the playoffs.
Yeah, before I respond to you, Gilbert, I just want to. We have Jeffrey Holloman. He was on here before I even hopped on to start working on banners or anything. So, Jeffrey Holloman, hello Rams from North Carolina. There you go. And then also Compas on the beat. What a game! I mean, it was a really good game. And then we got Daniel Kellner. How do we get a delay a game? How it's like every week, and I think that's part of the thing, Gilbert. Is they're still a young team. We have to remember that, and they're on the road. These kind of things are gonna happen. I understand that, but you
Was
say,
that the one that maybe McVay's headset went off? I think it
yeah,
was. Yeah,
getting the play in, and then later on in overtime too, there was a lot of just errors in overtime as well. I mean, drop passes. I mean, it's gonna
yeah,
happen with teams, and then Delbert Salgado, proud of this effort, playoff quality game and experience. No pleasing some fans, but we're growing up. Note Haverson had a great game. Fans
yeah,
68. And you know what? That's a good point by you because we thought if somebody was going to mess up special teams coming in, Gilbert, we said just Haversick, and it wasn't that. It was a punt return, that cost them there. So that's a good point by you, Delbert, because I was going to talk about Haversick. He made a 51 yarder there as well. We got one more comment. Good game, Rams. Y'all came to play, and your offense looks dangerous. So there's a Ravens fan there for you guys as well. So glad to have everybody here chiming in. We appreciate that. But to your point, Gilbert, I mean, let me just rattle off some stats here. Matthew Stafford, 23 of 41, 294 yards, three touchdowns. I believe this is the third straight game he's had three touchdowns on the air. That's really good. You're starting to see Stafford back at it again. I thought Kyron Williams, 25 carries, 114 yards, just a key. We talked about it in our preview show. That was really good. Puka Nakua, 5 receptions, 84 yards, one carry, 6 yards. Cooper Cup, 8 catches, 115 yards, one touchdown. Davis Allen, 2 receptions, 25 yards, one touchdown. Demarcus Robinson with 3 catches, 46 yards, and one touchdown. I mean, the offense, as you said, it's a top five now. There's no way you can say no about that. Now that they're all healthy, another concern, Gilbert, has to be Rob Havenstein. He left this game, did not return. You had to have Joe Noteboom there. But still, they still move the ball on this really good Ravens team in the rain as well.
yeah. The like that was the matchup we were intrigued. Sean McVay calling the plays for the offense on the Rams, and then you got Mike Macdonald, the DC of the Ravens, and they set the tone right away, saying we're going to run the football at you 7 consecutive times. I think it was on the scripted opening drive, and it worked. And then people were maybe wondering why you throwing the ball. Well, Stafford was dealing too, and to your credit, Victor, I forgot there were some critical drops in this game. Puka had one, but he made up for it later in the game. Maybe I think Allen had one, I forget. And he stepped up big for Higbee. Maybe they found something in him as the next tight end of the future. So, and real quick to this comment right here, this game feels like you went to the park to play 5-on-5 pickup basketball. You don't even know these people. They're in a different conference, like it's a different state, and you just have an amazing time playing a sport. Like, wow, you guys are really good. Hopefully, best of luck to you. So that's what it felt like. A lot of respect on both sides. I'm sure the Ravens are going to rave about it. You saw John Harbaugh at the end, being so happy and thrilled to get that W because that's the way the Rams made them sweat. So football fans should be happy. I think even Rams fans should be a little happy. The Rams are on the rise here, and it brought out the best in the Ravens. Like that streak of having the lead in the fourth quarter ended today because the Rams were ahead going to the fourth quarter. That defense got lit up. So all these things that the Ravens were used to, if the Ravens go far, they might be thanking the Rams like, hey, you guys pushed us in week 14 of the NFL season. We did not know we had another gear, and they went up. But hey, to their credit, Sean McVay and Stafford, Kyle Hamilton, I know he was dealing with the injury. He left. He was a little sluggish in the first half. They went at that. They went at that secondary quickly, and then to only allow 2 sacks from that Ravens front, that says a lot about this, banged up offensive line for the Rams. So the more we talk about it, the more the comments come in from the listeners and viewers here, the more I think about, oh yeah, that play and that play, because so much occurred, and that's why I kind of feel like I'm leaning on the positives, even though it was a loss for the Ravens. I mean, for the Rams.
Yeah, and look at us. I mean, we're being positive here, and after a loss, usually we be killing McVay or saying something went wrong here. But honestly, you have to take positives from this. And then Daniel Calderon, Puka, Kyron Young had great games. Kyron is looking special. Another fifth rounder there, Gilbert. And then Delbert, I was trying to look for the playoff possibilities. I don't know at this point as we're talking if I'll leave it in the comments on this and give the actual, because we're still having to wait. We still
Yeah.
got to wait what happens with the Packers. We got to wait. I know the Raiders and Vikings are tied, so if the Vikings or the Vikings and the Packers lose, you're back right back in it. So the possibilities go up as well. So you also have that as well, Gilbert. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about the defense. Ernest Jones, I thought, had the most impact in this game. He kept rushing the passer there. He had over 10 tackles and 1 sack. And then Akilo Witherspoon, I mean, after getting beat, he comes back and has a beautiful interception. Another one. I mean, he's been the best the best signing. I know we've talked about Les Need going and picking players in the draft in the middle rounds, but also this signing was huge. Kilo Witherspoon has been a great find for Les Need. So another great game by him as well. And so there's just a lot of positives here. Gilbert, how much time do you have with us before you got to go? I know you have to cover the rest of
Yeah.
the NFL slate.
Yeah, and we could do another 5 minutes, and if I don't know if more comments come in, you could
Yeah,
answer the questions here. But yeah, Daniel, as he pointed out, Seahawks are winning, but it's still early in the game. It's ten
yeah.
seven, like you mentioned, Victor. Vikings and the Raiders are 0-0, and then the Packers play the Giants. So even if these teams win, there's a lot of football left. It's going to be 4 games to go, and like we mentioned, the schedule gets a little easier.
Let me
They're not
give
going
you
to be
this. Let me give you the schedule remaining, Gilbert. So the Rams come back for 2 home games in a row against the Commanders, and then they turn around quickly, and then they face the Saints on that Thursday night, and then they
yeah.
go at the Rams, and then they finish up with the 49ers. So to your point, there's still a lot of football left. Four
Yeah.
games to go.
The only crappy part here about the Rams losing is like now you have the pressure because you can't really afford to lose another game. Like these winnable games, you got to beat the Commanders. Like they're pretty much done. They're on a bye week though. Again, another weird wrinkle for the Rams. That's terrible. All these teams coming off a bye week, but it is the Commanders. You got to win that one at home. Then you get the Saints on a short week for Thursday night football. I'm guessing it's going to be Thursday night football. The Saints could be up and down, but they're a very inconsistent team. You got to win that one also at home. And the Giants could be maybe a sneaky play in New York, but the Giants are still the Giants there. And then who knows? It might come down to the 49ers game. But I think if you win those 3 games in a row, you're looking pretty nice. I think even going 9-7 should get it done. But it's gonna give a lot of pressure because in the back of your mind you're gonna play the 49ers. But as for the Ravens, they might be the number one team right now. Yeah, the Chiefs are pretty shaky, and the Ravens keep winning there. But a lot of football to be determined, and who they almost were a drive away from winning this game here. But if you want to talk to Gary here, Donald got pretty close there a couple times, but I think with 1 sack, Victor. Michael Hoyt played a decent game too. He was all over the place. So it was one of these games where they were making Lamar move out of the pocket, but it's Lamar freaking Jackson. So he's going to give you a spin around, keep running, move the legs, and get 5 or 6 extra yards. And he had like 70 plus yards rushing, and to his MVP like performance, he had over 300 yards passing. So it's tough to deal with Lamar. That's why he's 19-1 now in the NFC.
Yeah, and I mean, the last one that he lost against, it was against the Rams. So
Oh
a
yeah,
few years, that was the OBJ game where he helped them win that game. And then just a couple of notes here, Gilbert, passing per Jordan Rodriguez. Sean McVay says among many postgame comments, they were having issues with headset through the game. And on the last drive of regulation, Stafford couldn't hear him in the helmet, led to calling that third timeout to communicate. So I mean, it looks like there were some communication problems there with the helmet. There's been issues there with Baltimore before. So, I mean, I've always been a little skeptical about what happens when calls aren't coming in. So, but hey, that's part of playing on the road. You get that home field advantage. And also, one more thing, Tutu Atwell is in concussion protocol. So, we might see a little bit more of Demarcus Robinson next week. If Tutu Atwell
yeah.
isn't able to.
He played another great game. He's stepping up in these big spots in critical moments, and And I know, Rams fans might get frustrated and point out a couple things, but they got lucky that there was no interception at the end of the game there when he threw the back end of the corner. I think that was that to Robinson in that corner there. So they
Yes.
dropped the pick there for the Ravens. So you know, I- every game is gonna be some dumb, blown call or a missed call or whatever it is. But I'm just gonna enjoy this game. That was a great game, that punt return was kind of reminiscent of the Week 1 Bills Jets game. There was a push in that one too. They didn't call it, but overall it was a good game, and it does put pressure on the Rams. But there was a lot of growing up today, and those games that the Rams lost early in the year because of inexperience. Today it felt like okay, they're finally gonna get over that hump.
Yeah, and you're starting to see more coverage from people. Like I saw a lot of people on my timeline talking about this Rams team now. And I think, yeah, you hate losing this game because you were in it, but you knew it was gonna be tough. Like and we said a lot of teams that went in there, Gilbert, got blown out. The Rams stayed with it just like we thought. Like we both hit the over on this game. We both thought, we thought the Rams would keep it close, and they did that. The I think
What
the
was the
line was
line? It was like
it was
40.
7 and it ended
No, I mean
37-31.
the total.
The total was 40 and a half and it went up to 42 and a half. So
Yeah,
either way, I
yeah.
mean this was
I predicted 41. That's why I think I'm like, did I
yeah,
go over? I did go over,
yeah.
but barely.
Yeah, barely. So, Gilbert, just like let's go over our final thoughts for this game. I thought, for myself, just a good way to show that you're in this now. The my only concern, Gilbert, going forward is I just hope they don't end up like the Lions last season where they finally get on a run, but it's too late, a little too late, and the
Yeah,
others, a couple teams sneak in instead of them. I know as of right now, they're one of those teams that people do not want to face in the playoffs. So they're hoping the Rams don't get in, but I hope that this momentum continues. Hey, don't get down on this loss. Continue. You got 3 winnable games coming up. You win those, you're in position to make the playoffs.
yeah. That's like big picture. Honestly, if they find the way in, and they get maybe this, like if they get the 7th seed, it's not looking great to play the 49ers or the Eagles, but to play the 49ers, they know the 49ers pretty well, and you never know in a playoff game. If they get to number 6, the Lions look beatable. They just can't defend, and if they can't get, if they don't have, the running game going, they're not going to do much. And you're, to your credit, you said the Bears are going to be a sneaky play today, and they beat up on the Lions. So the Rams get in, they could definitely win a game. But that's where like the downside of this loss is today. Like now you have a lot of pressure to win the next 3 games or go at least 3 out of 4. 4 out of 4 would be perfect. They'll probably get in for sure, winning out the rest of the way. But focus on the positive, man. This offense is really good. Sean McVay took a lot of heat earlier this year for some mistakes, but that could be part of the issue is trying to figure out a lot of moving parts. And like, I mentioned in the previous show, this is a smash mouth football. No more trying to spread it out. Like you want to go play too high shell. We're gonna pound the football, and that's what they did with Kyron Williams, man. Like Kyron Williams is a small dude, but he's physical, and he gets the extra yards there. And then Puka Nakua and Cooper Cup are figuring it out together. Now you got the tight end Allen. You got Avila as an offensive lineman. Somebody shouted out Joe Noteboom. Yeah, Havenstein's gonna be an issue there, but everything is in play for this offense and this defense. They ran into Lamar Jackson, but for the most part, they're pretty good. I could definitely see the defense bouncing back against the Saints, the Commanders, and the Giants, and who knows, maybe the 49ers.
Yeah, before we close things out, if you're watching this show on, after we're done recording this, yeah, let us know what's your confidence level of the Rams making the playoffs. As we giving you guys our opinion, go ahead and leave it in the comments. We like to, hear from you guys because we feel pretty confident, especially after what we saw today. So go ahead and leave us your comments. Let us know how you're feeling, especially after this loss. All right, Gilbert, who gets your 12-pack beer of the game?
Yeah, it's a lot of people to go through here. Maybe I'll let you have one of the younger players here, but I'll go with Cooper Cup. People have been criticizing him, questioning where he's been at, and he actually, before we forget, like there's so much that happened. He had that amazing catch on the final drive of regulation to set him up for a field goal or possibly win the game or whatever the heck it was. I'm losing the scenario there. But Cooper Cup played a good game, over 80 yards. He had a touchdown, big catch. Obviously, Puka did Puka things. But Cooper Cup is finally getting a rhythm with this offense. The new playmakers, a little bit of a wrinkle in the scheme. So everything's pretty new for this unit. And credit for Cooper Cup to having a great game today.
Yeah, and he did a great job. 8 catches, 115 yards, a touchdown. I mean, he's starting to look. I like the way they're using him on some of those motion plays. I mean, he was wide open on one of them, and then just the connection that he has with Matthew Stafford, he was able to just throw the ball up there and let Cooper Cup down come down with it. So great call by you. For me, Gilbert, I'll go back to some, what it was. Well, who was it? Yeah, it was Delver Salgado and Lucas Haversick. I mean, they brought in Mason Crosby to replace him, and he went out there and he was like, "Nope, I'm not giving up my job." And he goes out there, hits a 50-yarder. He hits his field goals, his extra points. That's what you want in the rain. And he did a good job. So for me, Lucas Haversick, young guy, he sees them bringing in a veteran. He's like, "Nah, man, like I'm gonna try and keep this job." And so goodbye him, and I hope he enjoys this 12 pack of beer because he did a great job today, especially with them bringing in Mason Crosby. Gilbert, anything else before we go? I know you have to get back to covering the NFL.
No, just leave your comments if you're watching the replay. Thank you for the ones that already commented, and subscribe if you haven't done so, and keep watching. House of Horns for for the preview show on Wednesday. Check out everything we do. We're trying to get away Puka Nakua jersey when we get to 1,000 subscribers. So, yeah, just keep following, and thank you for all support.
Yeah, thanks to everybody that was on here. I just want to give a shout out to everybody that was Daniel Calderon, as always. He's always in the comments. We got Delbert Salgado, a new commenter. That thank you, SCDB12. And Gary Trujillo. Sorry about that. Thank you guys for chiming in. We appreciate the comments. This channel continues to grow, and it's all thanks to you guys. Gilbert, we're almost like at 745. We gained over 25 subscribers in the last couple of days, and all this is thanks to how the Rams are playing. And as long as they continue to do this, we'll continue to bring you guys good content. So stay locked with us. Gary, there we go. Oops, sorry, I took that away. Great job, dudes. Thank you guys for locking in, and we can't wait. All right, Gilbert, that's it. That's all I have for you. This ends our post game show from me.
Yeah, it's time to head out, and it was a bittersweet game. But check out what the Seahawks and 49ers are doing. The Raiders and the Vikings, Packers, and the Giants. A lot of football left, so keep the scoreboard up, and we'll check back in later next week, I guess. Yeah, Monday or Wednesday. And but on that note, ya nos vamos, pues vámonos.